Welcome to the Happy Being Well podcast, where we talk about strategies and insights so you can live happy being well with your host, Rita Ferrugia. This podcast is presented by happybeingwell.com, your online store providing the best in all natural wellness products, such as natural essential oils, all natural bath products, all natural facial masks, all natural deodorants, irresistible leggings, crystals, including crystal home decor and kitchen items, herbal teas, natural sleep aids, and so much more natural wellness goodies at happybeingwell.com. Free shipping on any order within the USA at happybeingwell.com. Now enjoy the show.
Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Happy Being Well, the podcast where we talk about how to live happy being well and uncovering strategies to living a fulfilling life. I'm your host, Rita Ferrugia, and today we have a very special guest. With us, we have Dr. Mike Van Thielen with his extensive background in holistic nutrition, homeopathy, functional medicine, nootropics, and regenerative medicine. And biohacking. Dr. Mike has been transforming lives and helping people achieve optimal health for over 3 decades. He's not only a treating physician for Boston Neuro Pain and Psych Centers, but also the founder of the Health Freedom Movement. We're honored to have him here to share his wisdom and insights. So, Dr. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Rita.
So, what led you to get into this field?
Well, long story short, I grew up in Belgium. People probably can hear my accent. My mom worked hard to provide for my brother and I was into sports. I was into swimming, and then decided to do physical education at the University of Brussels. But what you're going to do with that degree, really? So then after that, I decided to do physical therapy, and I ended up traveling with the Belgian Olympic swim team in preparation for the Olympic Games in Atlanta in 1996. And that's when I really got exposed to optimization of obviously sports performance, supplements, diets, and those types of things. And in 1997, I saved $400, packed a backpack, and came to live the American dream. Needless to say, without a coach or mentor, I got knocked down many times, but my motto quickly became, I never lose, I win or I learn. And from there, I got into, various health applications. I got my PhD in holistic nutrition. I owned several med spas. Then I got into anti-aging. From anti-aging, I became the CEO of a regenerative medicine clinic, which is all stem cell-based therapies where we treated NFL players, heavyweight champion boxers, etc. And then COVID came and we closed the doors. And then I really had some time to think about what I wanted to do next. And I really wanted to start spreading the word on how to regain control of your life, optimize your health, upgrade your body, your brain. And so I became a mentor coach, and I'm a international keynote speaker. Recently spoke at the Biohacking Congress and conferences to help people do that. So that's where I am today, and that's how I got here, Rita.
Awesome. That's like quite a journey. It's we hear these buzzwords like regenerative medicine and now anti-aging has become a thing, like, in terms of I'm hearing like there's like literally like anti-aging coaches and like, oh, sign up for my program and we'll do all of these, I don't know, like take some stuff or whatever. What is all that about? I mean, I hear it a lot. What is regenerative medicine, and how do we go about selecting what's best for us when we want to go into like some kind of anti-aging, I don't know, clinic or program or the stuff that's being out there?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on your goals and stuff, but we all should be healthy or try to stay healthy. I think today it is very realistic that if you implement the tips and strategies that are out there, even available to the common people and not just for the elite, I really believe we can get to 100 years old, but as a 100-year-old, be able to do what a 40-year-old does. So traveling, hiking, and enjoying life. So it's all about increasing lifespan. And there's many definitions of biohacking. My definition would be upgrading the body, the mind, and life. And from a health perspective, it's basically objectively reversing your biological age. And so regenerative medicine is a component of that. And when we think about regenerative medicine, most people would think about stem cells. So it's not only about repairing your damaged tissues, whether that's musculoskeletal or whether that's organ or whatever that may be, but stem cells not just repair, they also renew and re-engineer. So it's not just about patching up, it's actually about replacing and re-engineering, and that's truly reversing biological age. So, you know, besides stem cells, for example, if we think about our hormones, as we age, the quantity and quality of our hormones declines. So does the quantity and quality of our innate stem cells. But by doing bioidentical hormone therapy or by utilizing stem cells, we are basically going beyond our genetic programming. And that's what biohacking is all about.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's really cool. So like for my way of thinking is like the ultimate way to, like, I guess you could, whether you want to call it biohacking or like, preventive or regenerative, like, to really be our optimal self at any age, especially after, we get into our 30s and, hit the 40s, and after 40s, we really start to see a decline. Our skin starts to lose collagen, elasticity, our hair gets thinner, we have less energy, our joints start to like get sore, we start to notice and experience a decline. So for me, I've always looked at it like, you kind of have to like master everything at all levels, like, to, take your supplements, take the right ones that is right for you, because we're all different. Our bodies are different. Maybe some people might need more fish oil than others. I don't know. But it's also like you have to incorporate physical activity. You have to like make sure you're eating the right foods. You have to also make sure you're releasing stress in healthy ways, being mentally healthy, spiritually healthy, incorporate meditation. It just seems like you need it on all fronts, So I think this is where most people maybe get stuck, because maybe they've mastered supplementation. I know a lot of people are crazy about supplementation, like they've got all their supplements, they take it religiously, but they're horrible when it comes to mental health. Like they're not all of them, but I'm just saying I know people who have mastered one field or one angle of it, but they totally neglect, healthy ways to release stress and meditation, journaling, stuff like that, right? So they can get into a negative state. And as we know, if you're always in a prolonged state of stress, that can age you too, right? So,
yeah. No, again, most disease is directly related to systemic inflammation. And we also know that our mind controls our body and also creates our destiny. So yes, the mind is probably the number one thing, because when the mind's not on board, any physical or external stimuli won't work anyways. It's our belief system. It's eliminating false core beliefs. It's stepping into those different brain waves. Those are the things that we need to do, whether that's through meditation or breath work or visualization, manifestation, it doesn't matter. But it's one of the key things, exactly what you said, to not only be in control of your body, but also of your life and your destiny, your goals and your dreams. So the mind is key. But I think, in my latest book, I describe 7 fundamentals, areas that we need to upgrade. And they don't have to cost money. They're easy to implement. And like you said, there's not just one area. Many people are experts in one, but you need to address all those 7 areas. And so the first one is water. We need to drink enough water. We need to make sure it's clean water, purified water. And I'm looking at my little water system here. It infuses my water with hydrogen. So it's hydrogen gas infused clean water. And we need to drink enough of clean water, because we're a plumbing system, our cardiovascular system, our lymphatic system, which basically is part of our immune system. It's like a plumbing system. It can't clog up. So we need to get enough water, and we need to get enough movement. We'll talk about that in a second. So water's key. Number 2, air. Right. So yes, we need to get outside of the house. We need to get that fresh air versus circulated and reused air in the office or at the house. So we need to consciously spend more time outside. But 99.9% of us don't know how to breathe correctly. The mouth is to talk and to eat, but we need to inhale through the nose for 5 counts and out through the nose for 6 counts. So today, again, we have YouTube videos and we have free apps such as the Breath Source, which is the best app for breath work, that we can utilize at no cost to really learn to breathe properly and get that oxygen into our tissues and into our cells. Most of us are shallow chest breathers, and that oxygen is really not getting utilized properly. So water, oxygen. Then we have, again, movement. Same thing. We are designed to move. We're a plumbing system. If we sit and be sedentary, everything's going to clog up and stagnate. So that doesn't mean we have to play organized sports or we have to go to the gym, but we have to move, whether it's walking, playing with the dogs, playing with the grandkids. It doesn't matter. We need to move. If you're lazy, maybe you can get a vibration platform or a mini trampoline, but we need to move. And then opposite to movement is rest and sleep. You know, we need to be able, and we need to learn how to get in a deep delta sleep and get enough rest and sleep. I usually use the analogy of a supermarket. Just imagine that the night shift doesn't come and restock the supermarket. After 2 days, we'll have to close the supermarket and there's no more supermarket. It's the same with the body. We need a time to repair, replenish, renew, and regenerate. And it only happens during a deep delta sleep. So we need to focus on sleep. That's regeneration, that's renewing, that's rebuilding, that's biohacking, right? Then we have light and heat. So again, light, sunlight, stimulates all biological processes. You know, that's why the animals in the Amazon are large and exotic and very colorful. And those in the North and South Pole, or those living underground like moles and stuff, there's no color, they're blind, they are basically barely alive, right? So light stimulates all biological processes. So again, going outside, grounding, fresh air, those types of basic things that we forget to do that don't cost any money are easy to start implementing in your daily routine. And then number 6 is diet. Obviously, we have to reduce the toxins that we take in and that we're exposed to. So we got to avoid man-made foods and drinks. We got to avoid prescription and over-the-counter medication. We got to avoid those toxic household cleaning products and beauty products. We got to watch or learn how to mitigate the electromagnetic frequencies and radiation from our smart devices, our Bluetooth, our Wi-Fi, our laptop, and our phones. And so we need to do all those types of things and upgrade our diet, upgrade our nutrition to be anti-inflammatory, to be loaded with antioxidants, and to have nutrients that repair our DNA. And then last but not least is what you and I started about. We need to upgrade the mind. So those are the 7 fundamental areas that we need to upgrade in order to have a foundation of good health or optimal health.
Awesome. I love that. And I love that you mentioned, that's a really, really cool tip, guys. You mentioned a free app called Breath Source for breath work. Sleep is a very common problem most North Americans have because we live in a very busy, demanding, very stressful society. So people have problems, you know, really falling into that deep REM sleep at night because maybe they're thinking about work or whatever it is. Like it's the anxiety, like they can't stop the mind. So do you have any quick tips on getting a better sleep quality?
Yes, I mean, so bad sleep can have many causes, but you mentioned one of the more common causes is our mind doesn't shut off and we're thinking about tomorrow. So everybody needs to develop a power routine. I have 4 power routines during my day. I have a morning power routine, evening. I have a dream routine, which is about my goals and dream, and I have a biohacking routine, right? But for example, my power routine in the evening, it's going to be different for everybody, but some of the components will be the same because we got to figure out what works for us. But when you're talking about emptying the mind and not worrying about tomorrow, part of my evening routine is visualization, just 2 minutes. And what I do before I go to bed, I visualize the next 24 hours. And I go through the next 24 hours and I make the right decisions about what I'm going to have for lunch, about what I'm going to say during the meeting, etc. And when I do that, it only takes 2 minutes. Suddenly, you know, my mind is empty because I don't have to worry about tomorrow. I already know the next 24 hours what's going to come. So that's a way of emptying the mind. Or you can do breath work, or you can do a brain tap, whatever it is that works for you to clear your mind and get to in a deep delta state where you can sleep and regenerate and not wake up because you're worried and you're thinking about what should I do tomorrow, etc. And that's where a scripted life comes into play also. Most of us, or many of us, have anxiety, depression, they're worried, there's fear, there's PTSD, there's the stress that you talked about. And yes, there's drugs and therapies out there, and even, like you said, supplements, but we need to get to the cause of it. And many times the cause is a lot of people lack purpose in their life. They're just going to their job, going with the motions. They're overwhelmed. They're trying to put out fires every day, and they don't know what tomorrow brings. Maybe even financially, they don't know what tomorrow brings, the next week and next year. And obviously, if I put myself in that situation, I'm going to be worried too. I'm going to be uncertain. And that then evolves into anxiety, depression, and mental conditions and illnesses. So many times I help my clients I help them with purpose. And once we identify purpose, we need to get organized, because life is controlling us, and we need to retake control of our own life. We need to start scripting it, because the more control we take, the more clarity we create. And the more clear we are about tomorrow, next week, next month, and next year, the less stress that we will have, because we're in control.
Yeah. I love that. That is a really, really great way to think about it, and to kind of like dump out the anxiety and stress, so that we can shut our minds off. I love that. And so you have a is it health freedom movement? What is that about?
Yeah, I started that in 2014, and it's basically, of course, we have conventional medicine. I think there's not much use for conventional medicine except the emergency room. If I get into a car accident, please bring me to the ER and save my life. But otherwise, I think it does far more good than harm, and people still are, listening to their doctors. And doctors have a very limited box of tools, usually medications, injections, and surgeries. And what most people don't realize is there are hundreds of other tools outside of their toolbox, because when the doctor cannot help you with those 3 tools, usually they say there's nothing that can be done. But they're totally wrong, because we have all kinds of other practitioners out there that could help you. So the health freedom movement basically tells people like, look, you can blame your ill health on your doctor, on the FDA, on the big pharma, on the fake news, but you need to take responsibility for your own health and the health for your loved ones. So it's a choice that we make. And so we can either choose to be sick and sad, or we can choose to be healthy and happy. And it's basically up to you. Don't blame others. Take responsibility. And if you're not in the wellness field or health field, find a coach, find a mentor, find a functional medicine doctor that can guide you into that correct direction.
Awesome. I love that. And so you mentioned you've got books, and where can people go to learn more about you, and like how can they work with you?
Yeah, the best place is just my website, biohackingunlimited.com. All my books are there. My mentorship programs are there. You can sign up for my free email. My keynote speaking resume is there. So everything that you may need is all on the website, biohackingunlimited.com.
Okay. And so what would be the end result for someone to say they sign up for your program? What's the end result? Is it like to look younger, feel younger? Is that the result, or is that just one of your?
We do a consultation, and I kind of figure out what their goals are, right? Or do they want to work on their health because they got type 2 diabetes, they're overweight, they had their first heart attack, or are they a business person and they're in small business but they don't know how to take the next step, or their employees are not producing the way they want to produce, or is it more a personal problem or a relationship problem? In all those areas, I can help. I will be the coach and the mentor. Again, we will do whatever it takes to find your purpose, set your goals, surround yourself with people that you may need, because often we cannot achieve our goals, our dreams by ourselves. So we need the right people around us. And I make my mentees accountable on a weekly basis and make sure they reach their goals and their dreams. So, we just customize based on what is it that they want, or what is it that they want to achieve, and whether that's health or business or personal doesn't really matter.
Oh, cool. Well, this was like a really jam-packed, insightful, episode with like a lot of cool tips and strategies that you offered to the audience. So thank you so much. And
You're welcome.
guys, I highly recommend, if you are on a journey to better health, hitting the goals that like Dr. Mike said, go and take him up on the consultation call. So, can live happy being well.
That's
So,
right.
all right. Well, thank you so much. And your website again is it Dr.
It's
Um,
biohackingunlimited.com.
biohackingunlimited.com. So the link will be in the show notes, guys. Sign up for his email newsletter. Check out his books, book a consultation call. So until then, thank you so much, Dr. Mike, for being on the podcast and sharing so much great tips, like especially with that free app for breath work. That was awesome. And everybody else, remember to live happy being well, subscribe to the podcast if you haven't subscribed, and leave a positive review in the review section on Apple iTunes. All right, guys, live happy being well. Until next time.
If you learned something new or were inspired to live happy being well, please be sure to subscribe to the Happy Being Well podcast so you don't miss an upcoming episode. Also, please feel free to leave a 5-star review, including what you learned or what inspired you in today's episode. This podcast is presented by happybeingwell.com, your online store for natural wellness products, so you can live happy being well. Order your next all-natural essential oil, all-natural face mask, all-natural bath soap, all-natural deodorant, herbal tea, crystals including crystal home decor and kitchen items, irresistible leggings, and much more at happybeingwell.com. Free shipping on all orders within the USA.